it says, "Am I the a-hole for threatening my wife with a divorce after she quit her job to be a trad wife?"
What the hell is a
Okay,
trad
a
wife?
traditional wife.
Do we have to shorten everything?
Yeah, it's the world we live in. Okay. So am I the a-hole for threatening my wife with a divorce after she quit her job to be a trad wife?
A stay-at-home mom.
Yes, basically. I don't even know where to begin with this. Me and my wife have 2 kids together, 11 and 9. Me and my wife have been together for 12 years and married for 8 years. Around a year ago, I noticed my wife increasingly sending me these trad wife or traditional housewife TikToks. I have nothing against the type of relationship, but I don't think it makes sense for our current family situation. I do earn quite a bit more than my wife and enough to sustain our family on my own, but I don't see the need to do so. I work 80% and my wife 50%. And besides Wednesdays, where the both of us are working, either one of us is always home for the kids. I could work 100% and let my wife be a stay at home mom again. Both of my kids are attending school, and in their mind, or in my mind, there is no need for my wife to be a stay at home mom 24/7. She got increasingly pushy about it over the past 2 months. And again, I just kept on telling her that there wasn't a need for her to be at home. And if we decided to go down that route, what would she be doing during the hours that my kids attended school? I know damn well our house doesn't need to be cleaned for 6 hours a day. She would constantly try to butter me up with, you would have dinner ready for you when you get home and the house would be clean, and something about unlimited attention time together. Again, in
Lies.
the nicest way possible, I would remind her that our kids weren't toddlers and our current work life schedule allowed us to function properly just fine. We got into a pretty heated argument 2 weeks ago about it, and my wife completely stopped having sex with me to quote unquote show me what I would be missing out on. She's basically treating me like a roommate. I just thought she would get over it and this pass and that this would be a phase, but God, was I wrong? I came home from work yesterday and saw a bunch of presents on the dining table. At first, I thought the presents were for me since my birthday is in a week, but then I saw the labels that were addressed to my wife. I read one of the letters attached to the presents. The last sentence on it was literally, quote, "It was a pleasure working alongside you, and I wish you all the best moving forward." I thought it was a prank. A few minutes later, my wife just casually strolled into the living room, acting like nothing was wrong. I guess she saw that I was mad and had a mad expression and had the audacity to tell me, quote, "You'll get over it." And I just lost it. I left without saying another word and went to my parents' house. I feel absolutely disrespected. Why the hell would my wife think it was okay to just quit her job without telling me and just expect me to be fine with it? My wife has been bombarding me with texts and calls demanding to know where I am and that the kids miss me. I just told her to go find a lawyer and that I was done with her and then proceeded to block her on everything. My son just sent me a voicemail crying and asking why I was divorcing his mom and if I was leaving the family, and I guess that kind of broke my heart. I haven't responded and honestly don't know what to say. My mother in law also has been demanding that I return home and apologize to my wife. My parents also seem to be siding with my wife since they are also traditional Muslims and are stay-at-home moms. I feel like I feel like I'm wrong for immediately
Oh.
jumping to divorce without hearing her out. And besides this whole job drama, I love my wife too much for this to be the end of our otherwise perfect marriage. But on the other hand, I feel like I've lost complete trust in her. Should I just swallow my pride and let my wife be a stay at home wife from now on? Or should I follow through on the divorce? How should I navigate this situation?
So they're Muslim. That's an important caveat.
Well, yeah. So it sounds like his mom, yeah, he said my parents are also siding with
Yeah,
my wife since they are also
because
traditional Muslims.
yeah, in their culture,
Yeah.
yeah. If the husband can do it, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's the culture.
It's You go ahead first. What are your thoughts
So
about
here's my
this?
thoughts. Here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. These modern women don't want to be modern no more.
I knew you were about to go down that. We just had this conversation at breakfast yesterday or day before yesterday. We just had no yesterday. Yesterday, yes. We just had this conversation at breakfast
I thought
yesterday.
you wanted me to go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Cause I just know where you're going with this.
So
And I feel like I'm gonna scrunch up my face.
so she's she's tired of working.
Point blank
That's
period.
it. Because she doesn't need to be home for the children. Like you said, they're not in 11. They're not under mom. They're not. They're doing whatever they that entertain them throughout the day in school, and they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he didn't mention activities or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it's like she's just to the point to where like, well, like she's like, well, we'll be fine if
Why can't I stay
yeah,
home if
right,
it's okay
right.
financially?
But here again, and this is what I disagree. This is what I disagree. I feel like when it comes to decisions like this, both parties have to agree. And then to turn around and withhold sex. Now, if he was go out there and got some cats from somebody else because hey, fill in the blanks while you taking the blanks out, you feel some type of way, right? And I that's why I always say I do always feel like when a woman denies sexual access to herself because she's in an attitude because she's not getting her way, I don't that is extremely unfair
It is.
because as a
I
man
agree.
there's nothing that I can take away from you to the same effect, right? There's nothing I can take away from you to the same effect. It's like I'm not gonna stop providing for you.
You're not gonna stop paying my bills
I'm
because
not,
that would affect you too.
right? I'm not gonna stop buying food. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna stop going to work. So
I
it's
mean,
like
but you can stop, like, buying me things that aren't
it
necessity.
don't matter. You gonna go
I
buy
would
them
just go buy it
yourself.
myself.
So again, like I say,
I mean, but if you like, okay, just like how that could be
eh,
a form of like neglect or, cutting your wife off financially. Like,
okay.
yeah, you could still provide groceries, you could still take care of the house, but like if you have
But
control
here's
of
the
the
thing.
accounts, you
Okay.
could
Well, I don't want to
take
go.
away my financial
I
access.
don't want to get too off topic, but I always feel like when sex is withdrawn, I feel like you're creating a wedge there that don't need to be there.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree.
Right?
I agree.
Anyway, but it's like to and my initial reaction is I would have had the same reaction as he had. I would say this heifer was bold enough. She just said, I'm gonna just do it and you're gonna live with it.
Yeah.
And as a man, that is a threat. That is perceived as a threat. We've had a conversation and you telling me I'm gonna have to just live with it, like I have to just bow down to you? That's a threat. So threat violence must be met with violence. That is man code.
Mhm.
We're not discussing this. So he left. And now he left now. And now what's she doing? Now I'm pretty sure she probably said some things to the kids. And that's why his son sent that email. And now now she's gone to from trying to convince him to drastic actions to now trying to guilt him to accept her actions. Right? And that's where I don't agree. And that's why I'm all in for the soft guy era.
Okay.
Drizzle drizzle.
Okay, first of all, let's not ever use that term.
Drizzle drizzle.
Soft guy era. Let's
Drizzle,
not ever
drizzle,
use that term.
drizzle, drizzle,
We just had that conversation yesterday. Let's
drizzle,
not
drizzle.
ever use that
Soft guy
phrase.
era.
I think personally for me, I think where she messed up is the delivery. I think that's where she messed up, sending the TikToks, right? Because if it was something that she genuinely wanted to do, like if it's something I genuinely want and I genuinely wanted to do, I can just come to you and be like, "Hey, I'm not going to sit here and try to lie and be like, "Oh, our kids need me to be home," because you and I both know that's not true. But the truth of the matter is that I think that, since we would still be okay financially, I don't want to work anymore. And these are the reasons why I don't want to work anymore.
That's good.
Eh,
Take your ass
right?
to work.
Okay, no, but I'm just saying, I think that the approach also had a lot to do with it. Now, I'm not saying that he probably still wouldn't feel the same way because he was clearly very adamant about the fact that he doesn't see the point or the benefit.
Yeah.
But like you have said pods before, your protection also covers like my mental and emotional, right? No,
This
listen.
ain't a mental thing.
Just just rock
Nah,
with me for a second.
nah, I
Just
can't
rock with
do
me
it.
for a second.
Nah, I
We
can't
don't
do
know listen, we don't know all the ins and outs, we just know what he said,
okay.
right? But what if
I'm a
it's
rock
one of those
I'm a rock with you if you let me rebuttal.
what if it's one of those things where she's just tired, she's, like, mentally exhausted and mentally tired, she doesn't want to work anymore, and they can afford it, he's gonna go to work anyway, and
What
even if he could still provide at 80%, him
what
working 80%, like,
and this is what men have been saying forever. What a privilege it is to be a woman and be tired of working.
I don't disagree with you.
What a privilege.
I don't
I
disagree with
can't
you.
get tired.
But here's the thing, you
I
can
gotta
get tired. You can get
But
tired, but
I gotta go to work.
society has different standards for you being tired
Soft guy error.
than it does for women. And
Drizzle, drizzle.
that doesn't mean to say that it's fair because nobody said it was fair.
Life ain't
It's not
fair.
fair.
So here
It's not fair. And then here's the thing. If I could provide you with a less stressful life, like I do my very best
drizzle,
to
drizzle.
unload as much stress off of you as possible.
Drizzle, drizzle.
If I could go out there right now and replace your income 100% and plus more, and we can flip flop and you can be home full
Drizzle,
time,
drizzle.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Drizzle, drizzle.
I would do it in a heartbeat, like no questions asked.
I gotta get my beard done twice a week.
That's fine.
Drizzle, drizzle.
Whatever you need, like I will carry that.
You know
That's
damn
not
well
the
I'm still
problem.
going to work.
However, I'm just saying, because this is all, just opinions and stuff. What I'm just saying is the society just has different standards for men and women, obviously.
Right.
So it's not unheard of for a woman to come to her husband and be like, "Hey, like I don't want to work."
Here,
Like
here,
if
here,
there's
here,
really no
here's
reason for
here's a
me to work,
here's another
then I don't feel like I should have
here
to
and
work. That's probably where she's coming from.
here's another angle where it's
That's
disrespect.
not what I'm saying. I'm
Here,
just saying
here,
that's
here,
probably
here-
what she's saying.
here's another angle of disrespect. You you've married me. You've placed me as your leader to give you direction, and now you've purposely rejected my direction because I said this is not a good look. This is not something that's necessary because there's no reason for you to have like it does
I don't disagree
right.
with you.
So now so you've gone against me. So
Right.
now right so,
That
right
was disrespectful.
right.
I
So that's the
agree.
disrespect. So now as a man, if you can go against me in this,
Right. I've lost all control.
what else are you
Right.
willing to go? So
That's fair.
now I can't trust you.
That's
And
fair.
if I can't trust you to listen to me, then I cannot protect you because I can't trust the fact that you're going to do what I tell you to do and be in the position I tell you to be in case danger comes.
Right.
Right. And then maybe he had the mentality of, hey, if I'm working and you're working, then maybe we can get to a point to where we can both retire sooner and then live out this life together. Let's hustle together and then retire soon. Maybe that was his mindset.
But I think all that needs to be verbalized. But him just simply saying
But
it doesn't make sense because we have older kids.
okay,
And what are you going to do with your
but
time for 6 hours out of the day?
also, babe, we don't know what was verbalized because they
Exactly.
said they've had many heated conversations about
Exactly.
this.
And she was a stay-at-home wife before
Right. But
when the kids were
we're little.
smaller. So
Right.
his only argument, if we're just going off of what we're saying here,
It don't need to be
his
done.
only argument is saying, "What are you going to do for 6
Right.
hours out of the day? Because you're not gonna clean for 6 hours out of the day. So what are you
It's
going to
more
do
than
for
six.
6 hours out of the."
It's
But
more than 6 hours.
he's just talking about the time that the kids are gonna be at school. Because how he said that the way their work schedules work now, there's always somebody there to pick up the kids or to be with the kids, right? With the exception of like Wednesday or something like that. But he's saying
No,
that
they're both off on Wednesday.
they're both off on Wednesday, but he's saying that our schedule works so perfectly right now that it doesn't hinder you from working. It doesn't hinder me from working. And I don't see why you need to drop your job just to sit at home and absolutely do nothing. Like, well, not saying nothing, but like he's like, you're not going to clean for 6 hours.
This is
We
just
have older kids, so it's not
this
like you're cleaning up after toddlers.
I can tell you exactly what she gonna do. She gonna
She's
watch.
going to live her life.
She's gonna watch TikToks, and she's gonna look around the house.
She's going to go to lunch. She's going to redecorate.
And
She's going to work on herself.
every day she gonna
She's
have
going to do things that she thinks about doing.
every day she gonna have a new design for a different area of the house, and every day she gonna spend more money. And now that money that she feel like y'all didn't need because you make more than enough. What you make ain't gonna be enough because she gonna be spending it as fast as it comes in.
I think what they could have done too, like if I feel as though if that was our situation, I would propose like
Drizzle, drizzle.
I would propose that maybe we try it for 6 months, right? Like maybe I just do it for 6 months because maybe it's one of those things because how he said that she would always send him the TikToks. You know how you are when you see something that you've been scrolling on and it's constantly being shown to you. So now you're just like, oh, I want to try that. I want to do that. And then you get into it and you're like, this isn't what I thought. Or maybe she won't like having so much free time on her hands or whatever the case may be, Or maybe she'll like it and then you guys can revisit it in 6 months.
No.
But I think where the problem comes down to is also just like cutting things off when you're not making me feel like it's up for discussion. Cause it kind of seems like that was his angle. His
It's
angle
just
was like, it's not up for discussion because I don't see the point in it. And because I don't see the point in it, it can't happen.
I would divorce her.
But No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. Now, because I'm thinking about it, and the more I think about it, just do it. Cut your ties, and then
That's
just
terrible.
cut your ties, and then if she can live off if she can live off the alimony and child support, then she can be home.
He's still gonna end up taking care of her.
It don't matter until she remarried.
If you're not doing so already, you can
No, don't
follow
cut
us
it
on
off. No,
all
no,
social media
don't cut it off.
platforms.
No, don't cut me off. Think about
I
it.
wasn't cutting you off.
Think
I thought you were done.
think about it.
Okay, I'm
Because the more
thinking
I
about
think
it.
about it, it is a level of disrespect I will not tolerate.
It is I don't disagree with you. I think that was disrespectful
I would
to
not
just go
tolerate.
ahead and just be
I w-
like, "Okay,
it's a
deal
level.
with it."
It's a
And to
level.
say deal with it,
Who? Because if she would have told me deal with it, I would have looked dead in her face and say, "Who the are you talking to?"
the deal with it, queen.
And I would okay. Like he said, get you a lawyer.
You're gonna pay for it.
It don't matter. It don't matter because at this
Call
point,
us up some lawyers, babe,
at
because
this
you're still gonna pay for
at
it.
this point, I'm a free my goddamn conscience of you. That's what I'm gonna do
Oh.
because you're
But he said outside of that, he had a
nah.
perfect
Because now
marriage.
the more I thought about it, the more this shit triggered me. One thing
Oh, wow.
I can't stand a disrespectful ass woman. And I can't stand a disrespectful child because
Mm.
that's because of why I was raised. I do not tolerate disrespect, and the more I think about it, yeah, leave her ass. Guess you know what? I was gonna say something petty. I ain't gonna say,
Don't say nothing
you
petty.
know, go find happiness elsewhere. Drizzle, drizzle.